I love a good multiplayer game because, let's be honest, there's something great about battling other people over the internet that adds a little more fun to the experience. You feel the thrill of competition as you increase your score and combine your powers to overcome your enemies. And with that in mind, today I brought you a video with the best multiplayer games for PC. Hawked is an early access shooter that tasks you with getting to the loot before the opposing team and escaping with every ill-gotten gain. Guarding the treasure are all sorts of monsters and traps, so you'll need to watch your step and be sure to use your treasure hunting skills to ambush any rivals. It's early days for this free-to-play shooter, but with new events frequently offering unique skins and loot, there's never been a better time to jump into the fray than now. Gather up a team of friends for your next expedition, and be ready to fight dirty if you need to. Valorant is a tactical team-based shooter that's similar to CS:GO, but with ninjas and cyborgs. This isn't a game where you can jump around corners and spray wildly. Oh no! To succeed, you must coordinate with your teammates, get your aim on point, and master your favorite agents. And this is what separates Valorant from CS:GO really. Each hero comes with cool abilities like flashbangs that'll curve around walls, or teleports that'll shift you behind targets in a pinch. The fun lies in using these powers in creative ways and pulling off some clutch plays. Vermintide 2 is clearly indebted to Valve's zombie shooter Left 4 Dead. Each level can be tackled by up to 4 players, and sees you slaughtering hordes of enemies to reach the end intact. Special enemies threaten to pick off anyone that strays from the group, and the appearance of an occasional boss can tear through an unprepared team. Those similarities might make it tempting to dismiss as a Left 4 Dead knockoff, but you shouldn't because Vermintide 2 has the best rats in video games. They're man-sized opponents with weapons and minds of their own, making them individual combatants that are more satisfying to fight than ravenous zombies. The 5 classes, each with separate skills and access to different weapons, help to give each player their own role. Those vermin are more varied, too, with a random selection of mini-bosses and horde types to make each run feel a little different. Fat Shark nailed the melee combat at its core and sprinkled in some breathtaking level design, and the end result might be the best horde survival game, even if you don't like Warhammer. Embark Studios, a studio based in Stockholm with several ex-DICE developers, has successfully launched the finals after numerous beta periods in 2023. The finals mixes the excitement of an extraction-based shooter with the mayhem of a team-based FPS to create a wacky game show where the winner comes away with loads of cash. The game's launch has been mostly smooth, with only a few instances of the servers going down intermittently. Not only is the finals free to play, it also features cross-play and cross-progression functionality, allowing you to play the game from your console or your PC with ease. The gameplay is strong enough to get you and your squad mates hooked, and there's even a battle pass which you can work your way through to earn loads of in-game cosmetics and rewards. So there you have it, the best multiplayer games on PC. Many of the best upcoming PC games also have exciting new multiplayer modes, so there's never been a better time to tap into your competitive side. If you'd rather not pay too much for your gaming fix, our list of the best free PC games has some suggestions for great experiences before investing too much money. Baldur's Gate 3 is based on the Dungeons & Dragons world and rule set, and that's a party-based tabletop role-playing game, so why wouldn't you want to make it a party in its DG form? BG3 is the tale of a ragtag bag of heroes saving a lush fantasy world, getting into scrapes, meeting weird NPCs, and engaging in huge turn-based battles against monsters and ghouls. Much of this, like Larian's Divinity games, is based on using the different skill sets and abilities of your characters effectively, and that's much easier to do when the different characters are spec'd and controlled by other people, rather than you juggling it all yourself. Unlike other co-op games, Baldur's Gate's co-op is tied to a single save and campaign. No fair weather dropping in and out, but this makes it feel like more of a collegiate story that you're telling together, like an adventure you're having as a group. Like, in fact, a game of Dungeons & Dragons. It's worth the effort, and the game itself is a beautiful and complex playground for you and some friends to explore. Destiny 2 is the looter shooter that gives other looter shooters envy. You gather the shiniest guns, the sickest armor, and show off your gear in front of fellow guardians. Party up and shoot your way through alien enemies and strongholds with Bungie's perfect first-person shooter controls. The first taste is free, and regular, new content releases give you many reasons to keep gunning. Fortnite isn't only a battle royale, but a messy metaverse, swimming in dabs and franchises. But accept the silliness and you'll begin to uncover a polished shooter that's surprisingly complex. There's classic Fortnite, where building structures to aid you in battle is paramount to your success. A mode that I didn't get on with, personally, but there's no denying that those with adequate motor skills will delight in the building battles that can ensue between teams. And then there's no build mode, a recent addition that's brought me right into Fortnite's fold. It's Battle Royale as you know it, a circle closes and yada yada, without all the building malarkey. This means you've got Fortnite distilled into a more of a traditional shooter experience, only with the added benefits of Fortnite's silly metaverse, cars and gas stations, weird hamster balls with grapple hooks, Darth Vader, firework guns, fishing. It's without a doubt the most ludicrous Battle Royale mode out there, but it's without a doubt the most joyous. Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Rise finally makes hardened haters see the glory of Capcom's monster-slaying series. You can craft new weapons and armors by defeating a monster menagerie inspired by Japanese mythology or swing through the air with new wire bug techniques. No beasts will stand in your way as you go beast hunting with friends. If you've never played Payday 2 or its predecessor, you'd be forgiven for thinking it was about perfect planning, stealth, and crowd control. The reality is a bit different, and it usually goes like this. The four of you excitedly chat about how you're going to approach a heist. You split up, someone fudges it almost instantly, and every police officer in the world turns up to shoot you all in the head. It's more wave defense than precision stealth, with each player setting up traps, sharing ammo, and trying to keep the police at bay as the timer ticks down. It's chaotic and messy, but the shooting is weighty enough and the skill trees are satisfying to advance through. It's possible to get through each of the heists without raising an alarm, but it's bloody hard and you stand very little chance until you've unlocked some of the more advanced skills. Still, the possibility hangs there like a 24-karat carrot, nudging you all to have another go until you've perfected every scenario. Grand Theft Auto Online, GTA Online, might be linked to GTA 5, but it's very much its own universe. Hop online and up to 30 players can mess about in sandboxes designed for, well, practically everything. That's the thing about GTA Online. It's very difficult to get bored. There's mini campaigns built around heists, or servers designed for role-playing, or Hot Wheels-esque tracks for whizzing about in. And much like many of the others on this list, GTA Online is constantly being updated with loads of new heists, servers, and more. If anything, it's only maturing with age, and is a theme park filled with excellent set pieces and tons of silliness. Definitely worth a crack. Counter-Strike Global Offensive has an underwhelming origin story. A refresh of Valve's previous refresh of a Half-Life 1 mod, CS:GO, was conceived as nothing more ambitious than a console port, an experiment to see if PlayStation and Xbox gamers would engage with the Counter-Strike name. And, if PC players fancy to go, what's the harm? As it turns out, we got one of the best multiplayer games on PC. Thanks to regular updates, the shooter sensation became one of the most played games on Steam. Its weapon skins support an entire cottage industry of trading sites. It is an ultra-competitive, high-prize pool of sport. Its popularity is self-evident, but its quality requires a deeper understanding of its appeal as a nostalgia trip and a well-supported, pacey shooter with state-of-the-art spectator tools. Soon enough, the time came that Valve had decided CS:GO had had its time in the sun, and thus Counter-Strike 2 was born. Ultimately, it's the same game in a shinier, newer wrapper, but nothing has changed, and if you enjoyed its predecessor, Counter-Strike 2 will have you hooked. Make sure you check out our guide to the Counter-Strike 2 crosshairs that the pros are using. V-Rising casts you as a freshly awoken vampire on a quest to conquer the human world. It's an open-world survival game where you and your vampire squad reap havoc on neighboring towns in search of blood, all while building a lavish castle and exploring the surrounding gothic world. Crafting and combat are easily accessible. This isn't a mega difficult survival game, and gaining your vampiric powers, the best part of the game, is quick work. Since V-Rising's boss-focused progression is easy enough to follow, you can decide to join PvP or PvE. But if you'd rather have your vampire rule their own little slice of the human world, you can set up your own world and invite your mates to join. V-Rising is highly recommended for folks who are looking for a breezy survival sim, but with just enough meat to sink your teeth into. People will tell you tactics are more important than aiming, but they're lying. If you don't want to be the first one to die each round in this Counter-Strike-like shooter, you'll need both. The basics of Rainbow Six Siege will sound familiar. One team has to plant a bomb or pry a hostage away from the other. It diverges from Counter-Strike with its classes, which all bring different abilities to bear on levels with destructible walls and floors. The team playing offense needs to carefully plan their attack, breaching rooms from multiple angles simultaneously. When you swing through a window at the same time as your friends detonate their C4 on the opposite wall, you can almost convince yourself you should be in the actual SAS. Arma 3 takes place on a pair of beautiful fictional Greek islands. It does have a single-player campaign, but it's that island, the vehicles, guns, and mechanics, and the painstaking attention to detail that makes Arma 3 great. It's a platform for the community to create their own games upon, and there's enough community-made content that if you get into it, you could be playing Arma 3's cooperative mode to the exclusion of any other game. There's something about Arma's design philosophy that makes it especially well-suited to playing with other people. Partly there's the realism, which obviously lends itself well to the kinds of genuine squad tactics you can enact when playing with some dedicated friends or a committed community like Shack-Tac. Partly it's the way in which the islands are designed in spite of you, not in service to you, making your steady journeys across the landscape with another person feel more satisfying than overcoming a set of contrived obstacles. Hopefully one of you is a good pilot. Hunt Showdown is a nerve-shredding PvPvE FPS, which sees you hunt down an AI nasty hiding away on a map. The catch being other squads are also gunning for the same enemy as you. Oh, and another catch, if you die, you lose your equipment forever. That's what makes this game so high stakes, and ultimately, so much fun. Unlike many classical battle royales out there, Hunt Showdown separates itself from the competition with outstanding audio design. You'll hear gunshots ring out in the distance, alerting you to an enemy's presence. Footsteps pad on wood. The creak of a door opening. Your reliance on these small cues can mean the difference between winning a fight or losing all your precious cargo. It's quite something. There is a lot of shooting and adventuring on this list, but very few opportunities to hang out in a turnip field. Stardew Valley lets you live out an alternate life as a farmer, away from the hustle and bustle of cities and video games with guns. It's about escape. Ever since the multiplayer update, you can now escape with friends. It provides a place to be rather than a challenge to overcome. Each of you gets to dodder around town, either working together and divvying up tasks or plowing away at individual farms. It's not that the valley feels sterile without other humans, but there are only so many blackberries you can hand over to your NPC neighbors before your relationships start feeling one-dimensional. With real people in the mix, you get an actual community. Maybe your pal has a spare melon you can give to Penny for her birthday. Maybe they'll bake you a cake. Or steal your chickens. People breathe warmth and life into this farming game fantasy that's already about those things. You've got the freedom to pursue whatever charming humdrum activity takes your fancy. Go fishing. Comb the beach. Or, if you want, mercilessly compete to see who can optimize profits. It's your farm. Sometimes, all you need is a relatively mindless game everyone can play, and what better than an arcade-style brawler starring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Shredder's Revenge is a spiritual sequel of Turtles in Time, one of the best Super Nintendo and arcade games from the early 1990s, managing to surpass it in every way. The animation is top-notch, capturing the essence of a classic 80s cartoon, but Shredder's Revenge also uses the voices of nearly everyone from the show. All playable characters feel unique, borrowing techniques from fighting games' greatest pugilists. The PC version is the best one as well, as it allows up to 6 playable characters at once, taking on hordes of foot soldiers and mutants, with each stage culminating in a slugfest against one of the many characters from the show. It may be short, but the nostalgic experience it gives you will stay with you for years. You're a sentient tic-tac who must compete against 60 other tic-tacs in a series of gauntlets, where tic-tacs that don't reach the end, or end up on the losing team, are eliminated. It's essentially a survival of the fittest, which will see you guide your little guy through obstacle courses and painful group exercises. Think of it as a sort of mashup of Ninja Warrior with elements of a team-building course. What makes Fall Guys a great multiplayer choice is its spinniness. You're able to jump in for a game, then hop off if you'd like. Or you can take it very seriously and channel all your energy into emerging victorious and nabbing that crown. Plus, it's one you can play with your mates, your kids, your nan. You can play through the whole of Vegas 2's brilliant but flawed campaign with a friend, rappelling down walls, breaching windows, and taking out terrorists in unison. While that will keep you busy a while, it's Terrorist Hunt, a mode where you team up with 3 buddies to hunt down a set amount of enemies across large sandbox maps that will keep you coming back. Guns are powerful and fast. Death comes faster. This makes methodically creeping through the maps as a unit covering corners and assaulting defended positions, an incredibly tense affair. This only ramps up when your squad inevitably gets picked apart on the harder difficulties, right up until 3 of you are sat watching the lone survivor, the whole success of the mission pinned on them scraping through. It could even be down to you, and you'll feel the tension ramp up as you suddenly become aware of being judged. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me, and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. I would like to remind you that in the description we have a list of different products that can make your gaming experience much better. If you want to buy, the link will be in the description. Anyway, thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye.